Hi everybody, I'm Rook, welcome to the table, and they're here. Welcome to the starter pack opening for the Match of the Millennium starter deck. We're talking about Yugi and Pegasus here. I have both Match of the Millennium and Twisted Nightmares with me. I'm doing Match of the Millennium first, and then you'll see Twisted Nightmares second, hopefully later in the same day. But I have the deck right here, and I'm ready to open it. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and open this for you, just so you can see exactly what's in the deck. I have never opened a starter deck before. I usually only open booster boxes, so you guys already know what's coming. First off, we can open the Yugi and Pegasus Speed Duel mat that comes with the deck. Nice there. Also, we have Bakura and Merrick. And rules, in case you forgot how to play on the back. So we got that here. Two structure decks. We have Yugi and Pegasus. Let's start with Yugi. Yugi is going to be all-around Gaia the Fierce Knight, extra spellcasters, and all other general Yugi support that we haven't really seen yet, including some classic monsters. So this starter deck was officially released on May 15th, which was just recently, last Friday. Finally got the starter decks here over the weekend, and we're opening it up. So, starting with Yugi Moto. Here's the Speed Duel card here, and here's the ultra rare here that comes with the deck here, the Advanced Ritual Art. Advanced Ritual Art, really good card if you're looking for Magician of Black Chaos. Really works here. Even something like Relinquished, it pretty much substitutes as a ritual. Really good card here. So there's the Advanced Ritual Art as the Ultra. And then we have the skills here. We have Ritual of Black Mastery. This is the one that revolves around Magician of Black Chaos. And the Knight of Legend, which I'm personally excited to use. This is the one around Gaia. Allows you to summon Gaia the Fierce Knight pretty much without tributing, and it has some effects here where you can inflict piercing damage. If you inflict piercing damage, you get to draw cards and discard. Kind of runs an engine there, and you cannot set. So this is a very aggressive Gaia deck that skill revolves around. And then let's go through the cards that come in the Yugi deck. So we have Dark Magician. Here's Gaia the Fierce Knight. You're definitely going to want 3 of those. Curse of Dragon. First time we're seeing Curse of Dragon here in the Speed Duel format. Really good because we do have the fusion here. We have Winged Dragon Guardian of the Fortress #1. That's a classic here. We're seeing a ton of classics here. Beaver Warrior. The Celtic Guardian, of course. Silver Fang. Giant Soldier of Stone. Who doesn't remember that one? Shadow Spectre. Charging Gaia the Fierce Knight. This is going to be meta here. This is another card where you can summon it without tribute. Its attack is 1900 if you do so, and it plays really well in the Gaia deck. Here's a common Senju, which is really good for Relinquished. Old Vindictive Magician, which is essentially a Man-Eater bug, but for spellcasters, so it synergizes with spellcasters. Here's Kuriboh. You guys didn't see Kuriboh yet in the Speed Duel format, but here he is. We have Kuriboh. The Magician of Faith, which is a pretty good card. This is a common, right? We've only seen it as a super rare in the Speed Duel format, but the Magician of Faith is you can flip to target a spell in your graveyard and get it back to your hand. Here's the common Sphere Kuriboh, which we actually saw a brief common reprint of in the Trials of the Kingdom sneak peek, but before it was the most expensive card in the Speed Duel format briefly last year. But Sphere Kuriboh, really good hand trap coming in this structure deck. Here's a Blackluster Soldier, the Blackluster Ritual. Is Blackluster Soldier going to be a viable deck? I'm not sure. But we have a Polymerization, of course, because we're going to see Dragon Knight Soul Release. The Spell Shattering Arrow. I'm just putting these anywhere. I hope that's okay with you guys. Spiral Spear Strike. Here's a Twister, which is some magic removal here. Face up only, but it's actually going to work pretty well with Twisted Personality, I think, which is a card that's coming in the Twisted Nightmares deck. Summoner's Art allows you to get a normal level 5 monster from your deck. This is really, really good with Gaia the Fierce Knight, because Gaia the Fierce Knight, you can get that from your deck. Fighting Spirit, the White Elephant's Gift, Goblin Circus. I love these cards that have the goblins in them. It's really funny. But Goblin Circus here, Backup Squad, and then some traps. We have the Spellbinding Circle. Of course, can't get enough of those, rather. Really good card, Spellbinding Circle. A Magic Jammer. Eliminating the League. Okay, that's a good trap here. And then here's the fusion, Gaia the Dragon Champion. Fun fact, I believe this starter deck is the only deck that has fusions. I think that the Twisted Nightmares does not have fusions, but Gaia the Dragon Champion is a fusion of Gaia the Fierce Knight and Curse of Dragon. It also works with Knight of Legend, which allows it to be summoned here, and it gets the piercing damage. Gaia the Dragon Champion has 2600 attack, which is pretty strong if you get the Polymerization off. So this is the Yugi Moto deck and all of the cards that are supporting the Speed Duel format for Yugi. Like I said, the skills are Ritual Black Mastery, which plays heavily around ritual summoning, and using your Black Luster Soldier, Magician of Black Chaos, and then we have the Knight of Legend, which I think is the most prevalent here and is going to affect the meta the most. That's revolving around Gaia the Fierce Knight and Gaia the Dragon Champion. Of course, charging Gaia, I think that we're going to see a really aggressive warrior Gaia deck with less traps, maybe more Offerings to the Doomed, other quick play spells as opposed to traps, because you can't set anything with Knight of Legend. But this is the Yugi deck that we're going to see to support, and that advanced ritual art looks really, really nice. Let's move on to Pegasus. These are so hard to open. Why do they make these so hard to open? So Pegasus is basically going to focus around support for the Tunes and for the Thousand Eyes Restrict and Relinquish decks. So here is the ultra rare for the Pegasus deck, and this is going to be a really good staple you want to run. DD Crow. DD Crow is very, very fresh to the Speed Duel format, I'd say, because this is the first thing that allows you to banish something pretty much right away. So DD Crow's effect is you can drop into the graveyard. It is a hand trap, and you can banish a monster in your opponent's graveyard. So this is really good because this fizzles out anything like, say, a Zombina effect, for example, if you're trying to target something in the graveyard and bring it back. You drop DD Crow, that gets banished, that effect fizzles out, and you don't get to use it, so there's DD Crow there. And then the Pegasus spells here. Toon Mayhem. Now, I gave Toon Mayhem a lot of flack when I did the skill reveal. It essentially allows, once per turn, Toon World can't get destroyed, which I immediately thought was bad because it doesn't give you Toon World right off the bat. However, reading it again, it is once per turn Toon World doesn't get destroyed as opposed to once per duel, so I think that's a little better. It essentially guarantees that if you get Toon World out, it stays out. So I may actually build a deck around Toon Mayhem, but I've tried to play test the deck with Toon Mayhem, and yeah, the problem is that I can't get Toon World out right away. I don't want to blow Toon Table of Contents on a Toon World, but I might have to, and then once you get it out, Toon Mayhem will keep it out, so maybe you only need one Toon World, and it kind of frees up your deck to put anything else in there. There's Toon Mayhem, and then the last Pegasus skill is the Thousand Eyes spell. This is the one that plays heavily around the Thousand Eyes Restrict that's coming out here. It essentially substitutes as a Black Illusion Ritual, allows you to get it relinquished or Thousand Eyes Restrict out pretty much for free once per turn. So if you have the components in your hand and what you need to complete the ritual, then you can get those monsters out. So this is going to be super, super huge and really, really good for relinquishing Thousand Eyes Restrict. It basically just acts as, it allows you to complete rituals and fusions so fast. So that's going to really help Thousand Eyes Restrict. And let's go through the Pegasus deck here. Thousand Eyes Idol, which is what you need for Thousand Eyes Restrict. That's the other fusion. Illusionist Faceless Mage. Its counterpart is going to help you get Thousand Eyes Restrict back out. Here's some tunes. We have Toon Alligator. Red Archery Girl, which is basically non-Toon Mermaid. Alright, now here we come some tunes. Manga Ryuran. Toon Barrel Dragon, which is my personal favorite aside from Toon Dark Magician here. We have Toon Buster Blader. There's the Toon Dark Magician. If you're going to see new tunes, you're probably going to see Toon Dark Magician here. Its effect is really, really good. It doesn't need Toon World to stay on the field for it to stay alive, and you can discard a Toon monster from your hand in order to special summon one from your deck. So if I have Toon Dark Magician out, I can ditch any other Toon monster, get something like Barrel Dragon out, and then I have a really scary field. It can also attack directly if you have Toon World on the field, which is pretty standard for tunes. Here's another Toon Summon Skull in case you didn't have one from the first structure. And Toon Mermaid. Toon Masked Sorcerer is new. We got two of those. That's the one that allows you to draw. Toon Gemini Elf, which is new. That's a really, really good Toon monster, the strongest 4-star, 1900 attack. The only bad thing about Toons is that you can't attack the turn you're summoned, which is unfortunate, but Toon Gemini Elf is pretty strong. Here it is, the Illusionist Faceless Magician. So if this is in your graveyard and you lose your Thousand Eyes Restrict, this comes out, and vice versa. If you lose this, then Thousand Eyes Restrict should come back out. So this is going to be pretty synergized with the Thousand Eyes Restrict deck. Sonic Bird, which is a common reprint. We saw that in, I think, Attack from the Deep, and it was the most expensive card of the booster box. This was last April, but this is a common reprint, although Sonic Bird gets you Black Illusion Ritual, but with Thousand Eyes Spell, I really don't know why you need Black Illusion Ritual. So there's Sonic Bird for you. Here's Jin. That's going to help you with Relinquished, and two Jins. This one makes you Relinquish unaffected by traps, which is really good. We've seen that in the format already. Here's a Relinquish and a Black Illusion Ritual right there. Here's a Toon World. Toon Table of Contents, although I already have like 1,200 of these in Tournament Pack 1, so I don't need this. Toon Rollback, which I'm finding is really good to set up the OTK with something like Toon Dark Magician, Toon Barrel Dragon. They're on here somewhere, because their attack is over 2,000, so that can really one-hit KO your opponent if you're going to play Toons that way. Another Polymerization, a Fulfillment of the Contract. Here's Toon Mask, 7 tools, a common reprint of Dust Tornado, which is good. Dust Tornado was also, I think, Attack from the Deep, and it's only It wasn't a common before. So here's a common reprint Dust Tornado, which is pretty standard magic removal in this Speed Duel format. Shield Spear, a Security Orb, Skill Successor, and then there is the Thousand Eyes Restrict Fusion. So I know it's kind of a mess. I really haven't opened one of these like this before on camera, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, you should have expected kind of what was coming. I mean, it's right on the back of the box what you're going to get. But really excited about these new skills, and of course, I like the DD Crow and the Advanced Ritual Art. In fact, let me go ahead and pop those into my trade binder right now. Right here's all the Toon Table contents. You can see the Tournament Pack 1. But we are going to find a spot. I'll sleeve these later, don't worry guys. Put that DD Crow in there. That Advanced Ritual Art in there. And then let's put the skills in. Toon Mayhem. Ritual Black Mastery. The Thousand Eyes Spell. And the Knight of Legend. So there you have it, guys. That is the opening of the Match Millennium Structure Deck, Starter Deck, however you want to call it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and you can see kind of all the cards that come in the deck. A lot of common reprints, a lot of good stuff that's going to shake up the meta here. Some really good ultra rare prints here too, and of course the new skills here. You're not seeing just that crummy picture that we saw on the skill reveal. So stick around, guys, because I should be releasing the Twisted Nightmares here shortly. I'm just recording all these on the same night. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.